Hello, folks. This is Kelvin Pham for VietNAIL.TV. Welcome again to another segment of the VN Group. You know, this is where we get serious most of the time, all right, folks? But today, I think we're going to have a little bit fun, folks. Folks, today our panel, of course, our host is Mr. Mike Vo and Mr. PhD. Today, they are going to be discussing with Nail Distributors. We have two nail distributors here, folks, that's going to be giving us their thoughts and facts on how the COVID-19 have affected their business. Why do we want to know that as nail pros and salon owner? That's because it affects us.
Aloha for all the panel and aloha to the guests out there. You know, my wish and hope for everybody being safe out there. And again, you know, we'll come together as one, and we'll get through this. So my name is Alex, owner of the Hawaiian Beauty. We operate our business since 1947. Of course, we have some of our, you know, we don't call them our competitor, but more like you know, together as small islands help out each other. So if we don't have something, we call on the, you know, we recommend for, you know, the professional to go to another supply. So, you know, we've been here longest, and we, you know, as Kevin mentioned earlier, it doesn't matter how much we still in paradise. But at least right now, there's a lot going on with us over here, and I will share that a little bit later as we go into a little bit more deeper.
I'm from Texas. We're over in Grand Prairie, right between Arlington and Dallas. My family has been in the business for over 25 years now. Over 25 years. And right now, I'm in the helm helping my parents out. We're running the business, trying to change from old-fashioned to new-fashioned, and trying to keep up with the trends and keep us competitive so that all salon owners and professionals will get the best service they can from us. And that's our focus.
What are the challenges that you guys are facing, both from a, you know, a restriction standpoint? I believe you guys were on a second lockdown and quarantine. Kind of give our viewers a little summary of what's going on in Hawaii right now.
Okay, so for the people that haven't, you know, update with our news here locally in Hawaii, we got shut down in March. We came back literally the end of May. We opened up for, you know, a couple months, and we see a spike up because we open every business, we open all the park, all the beach, and everybody is kind of get, you know, together, and that's why where the spike came back. So they just shut it down again at the end of August 28th for 2 weeks, and then they extended it until September 24th, which is Thursday, this coming Thursday. Either today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, the mayor and the governor is going to announce, you know, what it's going to be if we able to open. But I already hear a little bit about, you know, what's happening is only the portion of the retail will be open, not the salon. But, you know, for your question, it is literally, it's affect us a lot on the local business, whether in the beauty industry here or, you know, the biggest effect is, you know, all the traveler, the tourists. And this is where, you know, a lot of the salon or the nail salon depended on that, you know, the door was closed.
Does Hawaii still have the mandatory 14-day quarantine for tourists, or is that changed now with these new rapid testing?
Yeah, it's still the 14-day quarantine. But what happened is they had a solid commitment that on October 15th they're gonna lift that 14-day quarantine. With one exception is when before you come, if you have a clearance for 72 hours, if you test is negative, then you will, you know, you can avoid with that. But the date has been moved back in March, continues to move and you know, suspend, but they now have a solid date that they're going to lift that on October 15th, and hopefully we all cross our finger that will be the date for all of us, because again, you know, we are living in paradise, but if we don't have the tourists, we cannot do anything.
Update our viewers. What's going on in the state of Texas? What are you guys experiencing restriction-wise, and are there completely open? What's going on over there?
In Texas, we also got locked down end of March, and we were held down for around 6 months, 6 weeks, and then so we opened up near the middle of April was when salons were able to open again. And like we were saying earlier, we survive together. So when salons are closed, we don't have any business at distributors, so we don't have any choice but to shut down as well. But since that time, we're in phase. I believe we're in phase 3 now of lessening the quarantine. And so right now, as far as business capacity, we're at I believe we're at 50% now for retail. So anyone can come in up to the 50% of the maximum set by the fire marshal. And other than that, Texas looks like it's doing all right. The biggest ones hit were Dallas, the big cities, Dallas, Houston, Austin. But right now, it's kind of dropping, which is a good sign. I think everyone here in Texas is doing an excellent job. Keep it up, guys. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and eventually we're gonna get through this. Just hold tight. We're on this together. There's no one that's benefiting. No one, everyone is hurting. That's the truth. Salons right now, I believe they are set still at around 25%, if I'm not mistaken, here in Texas. They're required 6-foot distancing, and no one's allowed to wait in the lobby. Everyone must wait in their cars, as far as I know, still. And then normally the receptionist will call people in as the places are available. And again, that's just to help space everyone out, make sure no one's getting any sickness from anyone else. Right. Also here in Texas, we're very adamant about sanitation and security. So we make sure that all of our salons say, hey, make sure you have all your employees trained sanitation-wise. For example, Barbicide has their training right now that is free. You can get a certification teaching you guys how to sanitize everything properly to take care of all your customers. We have the face, the shields. We have the face mask. We have the disposable face mask. We have table shields, pedicure shields. We have everything. We have gloves. Everything is very, as far as availability, it's a little short, but that's going to affect everyone. It's not, it's not something that's benefiting anyone in any way. We're all just trying to get by with as far as protective gear, gloves, and masks.
The state of Hawaii mandating some of these new PPE requirements, like the shields, the plexiglass, and all that. What are some of the new requirements over there?
Yes. So originally, the requirement for the state when this thing first happened in March is the social distance and the face mask. Actually, I take that back. Face mask was introduced, but it's not as mandate until a couple months later. So yeah, up until at this point, same thing with other states. I mean, the salon and the nail salon, everybody has been on top of. I even know that the income is not coming in, but for their safety of their themselves, their employee, and for the customer, the salon have put up out there. I don't know where the source that they get that income without getting the income coming in, but they on top of all of that, and I wish that this is the panel that we have, and whoever tuning in, and if you're a customer, you have to give a credit for the salon. They put a lot of their money out there and trying to save for their employee, for themselves, and especially for you as a guest. So same thing up until at this point. Yeah, to your question, the 6-foot distance, the seals, the face mask and glove, alcohol, barbicide. Even now, there's a lot of sterilizing machine that has been introduced. That have to be constantly used with the salon. So yeah, it's up until at this moment.
Owners and the Vietnamese nail techs in Paradise, do they still have the mentality of the typical Asian that we're talking about, where they scared to increase their prices, my brother?
Yeah. So
wow.
So I'm a little bit different with Vick.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised in Vietnam, and I immigrated here when I was 14.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, my personally as Vietnamese, and you know, work with a lot of Vietnamese salon. I think, you know, our traditional is very different. We always think as a backup plan. We always think about, you know, our honesty, and this is the reason why that, you know, everything that we do, we always not thinking for ourselves but think for other. And that's the reason why we always afraid and always think that, you know, if we charge something, is it gonna affect our business, and the most important thing for our guests. And I think you know, that's where my personally that I think. But I think, you know, with this COVID, I mean, this COVID is you know, have turned a little bit different of all the salon business we'll see, and will change, and it will change for good, even though that nobody wanted this COVID happening. So I think for my personal, that's what my thought about, you know, our Vietnamese communities. Yeah.
Would you take on that? Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was going to switch a transition to a different topic. Did you want to follow up with something that Alex said?
I think Anfook wanted to say something about.
Oh, yes, Anfook.
Did you say no? Okay, you good, Mike.
No, I just say, you know, yes, I increased the price because, you know, survival. Okay?
Survival, not because you want to be nice or anything, right? You want to survive.
When I buy the supply, I know the supply is going up a little, and then I have to go up a little in order to fill that gap. And also, you know, like Vick say, you know, the lease increase at least 3% yearly. So you got to have some way or another to put that gap into there. So yeah, definitely. Yes, the Vietnamese mentality is if I increase the price, you know, the customer will go to the other side. But for me, like all of the panels, no, we concentrate into the service and do the right thing. So
service and relationship is key.
With the challenges that salons are facing, distributors are facing, what are you guys getting in terms of assistance from manufacturers to you know, move products, keep your doors open, help keep the salons open? And Vic, I'll turn this one to you. What do you receive? You don't have to name any particular manufacturer if you don't want to. What kind of aid are you receiving from manufacturers, you know, to get through this pandemic?
Truthfully, on the large scale of things, there's not much help. They kind of treat it like everyday business. And, you know, it's not something we want to hear as a distributor, because our livelihood depends on how much we bring in for supply so that we can sell it out to the salon owners. But, you know, as far as assistance, nothing, really. There's nothing as far as some sort of help plan, as far as some special super sale so that we can bring in things that are required or the things that people need. There's nothing out of, you know, nothing that's helping us. As far as, nothing, nada.
Well, let me ask you, have you reached out to them and said, hey, we're one of your largest distributors in this area of Texas. We need help. Have you reached out to them, and kind of what's been their response to your request?
We've talked to a few of them, and the thing is, the manufacturers are suffering too. You know, that's the thing they're telling us. Because the thing is, it's a chain, right? We all survive on each other. You know, we all help each other to stay alive. If no one comes to the salon can go to the distributor. Distributor can't order from the manufacturer. Manufacturer cannot order from the fabricator or the raw source provider. At the end, everyone is struggling. It doesn't matter where you are on the chain. You can't say, oh, they're higher up, therefore they're better. You know, the thing is, everyone's, you know, top line has been hurt. You know, this year I'm gonna have the lowest growth, or I don't even know if I'm gonna have growth this year. I might even become neutral or even negative this year, because, you know, I lost here in Texas. We lost at least a month worth of revenue, and so, you know, to catch up, especially with COVID still going on and seeing that people are still hesitant to go out to salons, I'm realistic seeing that at the end it's not going to be good news for everyone. Everyone is going to have their own struggle, whether it's going to be, you know, financial, regarding lease, rent, or it's going to be regarding supply availability, or it could be regarding employee availability. There's a bunch of things that can hurt all of us. And the thing is, due to 2020, the way it works, and with this virus, nothing is sure. Nothing is sure anymore.
Right, Alex. What about your business? Have you guys received any assistance from manufacturers, or have you reached out to manufacturers requesting assistance?
We actually understand, because it's not only us. Like Vick has said, is down, is from up all the way down with all of this. So we totally understand. Because we've been in the business for a long time, we have a good relationship with manufacturers, and we understand that the same thing with the cost of their raw material, that especially they outsource, not only, in the United States, other country with they're suffering with the raw material has been increased, the cost of labor, the cost of shipping. So we not really try to go out there and ask them for help. But at the same time, we see a little bit change in the term of payment, and when they trying to get something paid up front versus giving us a little bit lease out there. But again, we understand, because we are in this together, and that's the only thing that we ask. It's not hard to ask, but it is help if they can really help us on that. But at the same time, we understand.
Right. And I know right before we went on air, I know we were talking briefly. I want to get your gentlemen's thoughts on nail associations, right? Because we know that in these challenging times, a lot of salon owners and technicians, they turn to groups, associations, organizations, whatever you want to define them as, for education, for financial assistance. Or just even have someone listen to you, right? And we know that the industry, at least the Vietnamese American segment of the industry, historically has been very defragmented. It's not unified under one organization, as say with hair or other types of industries. Alex, you've been in Hawaii. I mean, I don't know how many salon owners in Texas are, but what are your thoughts, and kind of what are you seeing in the state of Hawaii with respect to nail associations, and do you see them as providing value for industry professionals over there?
So for us here, as long as I've been in the business for 25 something plus year, we don't have a Vietnamese or even a nail association here, or a beauty association. If I'm not correctly looking at the past, so whatever happened with us here locally right now with the COVID, we sort of like we are on our own doing our thing. Not like we have somewhere that somebody that represents us in the community as a beauty or a Vietnamese association to help us out. So I hope this because of this COVID, it will change the way we look, and maybe somebody step up. We can get together and we can have something happen. In the next future. Yeah.
The issues, like I said, that the distributor is dealing with. Because keep in mind, they all are bloodline to our products, folks. They are the one that negotiate and talk to the manufacturers of the products that you want to use in your salon. So they are very vital to our business, okay? So let's support our local nail distributor, folks. On that note, folks, make sure you join us again next week for another great topics, of course. And make sure that you have a wonderful day and be safe and be kind. On that note, folks, peace out.